Hey, I saw a video on YouTube and I want to rebut and give a different opinion. Um, DSO, who I've interviewed on this channel, he helps men with their relationships. Okay, so I highly recommend you watch his channel. And he was asking another YouTuber, a therapist, I believe, Dr. Psych Mom. She has a great channel also. Whether she thinks that women need an emotional connection to feel sexual desire. And Psych Mom laughed. It was like, absolutely not. She thought it was almost, she dismissed it, in my opinion. Sorry if she's watching this. It felt very dismissive, but I think she is making the point that women are sexual beings that don't need to be in love to have sexual desire. And I agree with her on that. But there's a finer point, and I want to, I disagree because a lot of people don't know what emotional connection is, okay? They are not aware. A lot of people are not even aware of their feelings. When I say a woman needs an emotional connection to feel sexual desire, I want to give some nuance. First of all, an emotional connection can be a slight feeling of, I like this man. Okay? I like this man. Whereas a man can have sex with the woman, he doesn't have to like the woman. He can say, I like that ass, I like those tits, I'm horny. And if a man's horny, if he can't get the 10, he'll fuck the 4. I don't think that women will fuck a guy who's a 4. She needs to like him. That's what I mean with emotional connection. Now, I'm not saying that she needs to be in love with the guy or be in a relationship with the guy. Definitely not. However, I think at least all the women I know, they either want to be in a relationship or they need to like the guy or think that this is a man I would be in a relationship with. There has to be some kind of feeling that starts from the heart, unless the woman has attachment issues or some is like a psychopath or sociopath, like Amber Heard. I'm sure Amber Heard felt sexual desire. She has nothing in her heart. She's like cold. Or I have talked to women, I have met women. I will remember one specifically who's married, who was married at the time I met her at a friend's gathering. There was a bunch of ladies sitting around. And she said how she was so wounded from her childhood. So what she would do, she would hook up with guys, write their dicks, and then say goodbye. Thank you and goodbye. I don't know if she felt an emotional connection because she was incapable of that, but she wanted to be connected to a person or she wanted to have sex. So that exists. So I would say that women in general want to like the man first because we did not evolve to be like, let's go meet a stranger in the bushes. Let's go fuck a stranger. Women didn't evolve like that because we have a lot more at stake. Like, we want to feel safe. And the women that do go around just fucking a guy and riding a dick, they want to be in control. They're not feminine or submissive or receptive. A feminine woman, in my opinion, is going to want to feel an emotional connection. And what does that mean? It means I like the guy. I feel something for him. I like him. It can be very slight, but I can't do it if I feel repulsed or if he's threatening or if I dislike him. I'm sure there are exceptions, but I don't know any. Like, all the women I know, even the ones that hook up, they hook up with guys that they like. Now, I have also met many men, and I work with men, and I won't say more about that here, but I have met many men who want an emotional connection with a woman before they have sex. Now, these men will just have sex with me, and then they won't see me again. They don't need to be bonded or in a relationship, right? And neither do I when we're exchanging resources, if they're like a sugar daddy. But they want to feel a connection first. They want to talk first. They want to get to know the woman first. They want to be passionate with the woman. And I know men who only want sex in relationships. So people are on a spectrum. But I will say in general, men can enjoy sex with a woman that is just based on I like her titties. And women in general will have sex with a man that's first like, I like him. I feel safe with him and I trust him. Unless she has an attachment disorder, like an avoidant attachment style. in which she can actually just use men to hurt them. Like a woman who was sexually abused, for example, she can just have sex with a guy on her terms. This time it's all subconscious. Like this time it's on my terms, and I'm going to use you the way I was used, and now I'm out of here. Or the women that want to be slapped during sex or choked hard. That's all out there. There's a lot of dysfunction out there. But in general, a healthy woman, I'm going to say the majority of women, they want to like you. And that's an emotional connection. It doesn't mean that we're dating or that we're in love. So let's define emotional connection. Also, a lot of people are not aware of their feelings. Like I've thought about this for years, which is why I have an opinion about this. Because I've worked with men, I have a Just for Fans, I've been single for a long time. I was married for 25 years. I've given this a lot of thoughts. This is based on my experience through my work and my personal life, my opinion. Of course, I could be wrong, and of course, there can be outliers. Um, but in general, because women evolved to have more at stake, we're more selective. And for me to feel sexual desire for a man, I have to feel safe and trusting. I have to feel respected. And he has to give me something of value, like a resource or a relationship. And then the sexual desire that I feel, me personally, is going to be the greatest with the man that's the most passionate and sensual, which is an emotional thing. So to get turned on, how can you get turned on if you're not using your emotions? That's the other question I have for Dr. Psych Mom. If there's no emotional connection, how's the person getting turned on? You know, even in my work with men, when I'm with men, they're being sensual with me. They're being passionate with me. They care about how I feel. They're looking in my eyes. They're present with me. There's love there. We're not in love. We're not in a relationship. We may never see each other again. But there's an emotional connection during sex, too. So I don't get this, like, no emotional connection. But again, I think it comes down to people maybe not understanding that each emotion can have a range. Like anger, I can be slightly annoyed or I can be very rageful, right? Or sadness, I can feel a tiny little bit of sadness, or I can be so sad that I'm crying hysterically, right? So when I say emotional connection, it can be very slight. It does not need a relationship, unless that's the woman's standard, you know. So that's my rebuttal video to Dr. Psych Mom. And I do not think, I personally was a little bit offended with how she laughed at it. I kind of get the point of like, yeah, women are not just like these emotional creatures that need to be in love to feel their sexual desire. Like we are sexual beings. But I don't like the laughing at emotional connection because I really don't like the porn that has no emotions at all. That's sex without emotion. That's in porn. And I tell you what, real women don't like sex like that. A lot of these porn stars have a lot of depression, drug use, and a lot of them end up ending their lives. There were 2 last year that I followed that ended their lives. If you look at their porn, they're all open. They got their butthole open with penises inside, 1 or 2. Okay? There's no sensuality. There's no emotion there. Like, who would like that? So yes, we need an emotional connection. So do men, unless they're very wounded. And the men who don't need an emotional connection at all, they're the ones that are the predators. You know, we just heard about Danny Masterson. He doesn't need an emotional connection. He just needs a sense of power. Okay, now right now, Russell Brand is under investigation. I don't know if those allegations are true or not. Andrew Tate, he just needs a sense of power. Doesn't want to feel loved. Like these women are just things he uses. He just uses them for sex so he can get things from them. And I'm sure there are women like that too. Amber Heard, did she feel sexual desire for Johnny Depp? I don't know, but she had sex with him. Maybe she had the sex just to use him. And then whether people feel sexual desire and how they feel it, people have all kinds of kinks and fetishes and things like that. But how can you be touching someone and not have any feelings about them or respect or honor? It's absolutely there. But again, a lot of people are dead to their feelings. So a lot of people live in their heads. They're thinking, they're thinking, they're thinking. They don't even know what they're feeling. A lot of people are very disconnected from their feelings. And they don't know what they're feeling. You can ask them, what are you feeling? They don't know. They can say, I feel bad. Well, bad isn't a feeling. Like, what do you mean bad? You mean feel sad, lonely, jealous, anxious, worried, depressed, despondent? Like, what do you mean bad? We don't really encourage people to have feelings. In fact, people are shamed for having feelings. There's this whole thing going around that, we shouldn't even have relationships. Women don't need men, and men, there's a lot of negative information about having feelings. But good sex always involves feelings, feeling of caring for the other person, feeling of caring about yourself. That's emotions, and we're connecting. And I think that a woman's need for that is definitely greater than a man's need for that in general. It doesn't mean that she needs a lot of it, but it has to be there. In Tantra, I did talk to a Tantra instructor a few years ago. I was curious about Tantra, and he explained to me, and this is Tantra, that for women, sexual desire starts in the heart and then goes down to the genitals. But I would say even in the mind, like, do I feel safe with you? Like, it starts in our body. Do I feel safe with you? Then I can be aroused. And for a man, it starts in the penis, and then it goes into his heart. I don't know if that's true, because men also need to feel safe to be turned on. They need to feel safe to be turned on. If they're anxious and worried, they can't be turned on. If they're talking and thinking, they can't get turned on, because now they're thinking. So sex absolutely involves emotional connection for both people. However, many people are not even aware of their emotions because they're so disconnected from them. And I don't know any women like that. I'm sure they exist, but I don't know any like that. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm curious what you think. Or if you're a woman who is in her heart, like a nourishing woman, like who is affectionate and empathetic, if you're able to have sex where you're just like using the guy for his penis and you were never sexually abused. Like, I'm just curious if that exists. And anyway, thank you for watching my video. I hope you like this video with me now having these mics, which is my first video I'm making with these mics. I have to figure out how to do it in stereo because it says mono, but I have them both going. It shows that they're both going, both the microphones are going. So anyway, thanks for watching my video.